Welcome to GOlive TV, the future in your hands. The only multicultural IPTV station that brings communities together. Over 2.7 million people have already watched. GOlive TV, anytime, anywhere.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night to all our viewers around the world. I'm Reverend Dr. Sharon Glad, and today I'm your co-host on Holy TV. Holy is the acronym for Hail Our Land Yahweh, inspired from the scripture taken from 2 Chronicles 7, verse 14. If my people, which are called by my name, will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I, the Lord, will hear from heaven. I will forgive their sins and I will heal their land. The land on which we have been given the privilege and the responsibility to nurture and to take care of. We have been abusive to that land, and so we ought to seek God's forgiveness for that. The land on which we are standing on today, here in the city of Toronto, in the province of Ontario, please allow me the opportunity to acknowledge the land. We do hereby acknowledge that the land we are standing on are the traditional territories of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credits, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse nations, Inuit and Métis people. The city also acknowledges that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13, signed with the Mississaugas of the Credits, and the Williams Treaties, signed with multiple Mississaugas and Chippewa bands. Today is the 13th episode of Holy TV. And so, before I continue, I just want to take the opportunity to introduce our multi-talented musician, songwriter, and servant of God, no other than our beloved Sam Abonda. Sam Abonda to us. Thank you.
Thanks so much, everyone, for having me on again. Yes, I go by Sam Abonda, well, that's my given name. Well, my brand is also known as Sion, so that's S-E-O-N-N. But it's not about brands yet today. It's about being thankful for every moment, every time, that even in our highest of lows, all we just want to just say, with all that we've got in our spirits, we just want to say, arigato. I know, that's a Japanese word, isn't it? There are many words I could say to say thank you. Back in Yoruba land, we used to say, Eshe Gani. Oh, all I want to say is right now, arigato. Okay, see, you know, I used to watch a lot of anime, because arigato is a Japanese word to say thank you. I guess no matter where you go, you just want to be thankful for all you've done. Arigato, 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 arigato. Arigato, oh, 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 arigato, oh. I'm just so thankful for all you've done. It's not enough to sing this song, yet I'll sing with all I got. I will say, yeah, yeah, yeah. Arigato, oh, 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 oh. Arigato, oh, 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 oh. I'm just so thankful for all you've done. It's not enough to sing a song, yet I'll sing with all I got. I will say, Lord, I'm thankful for all you've done. I am thankful for all you've done. You are great in every situation, Lord. With all we got, we say thank you. We say thank you. Arigato. We're thankful each day.
Want to take control of your health? Use June's Healthline with Pure Trim. Pure Trim offers a variety of revolutionary, life-changing products that will not only boost your health, but your mood. Take control of your health with June's Healthline and Pure Trim.
How would you like to own a messenger service that when you talk, text, and share videos, you actually get paid? The Punk Panda app is a military-grade encrypted communication app created with the primary goal of protecting you and your content. Addressing the top 3 concerns in people's online life, which is personal privacy, data security, and it allows you to download 15 to 20 minute video. So download your Punk Panda app today from your app store. Use it, share it, own it.
Want to take control of your health? Use June's Healthline with Pure Trim. Pure Trim offers a variety of revolutionary, life-changing products that will not only boost your health, but your mood. Take control of your health with June's Healthline and Pure Trim.
Chase after us because those who are operating by faith and belief in the Word of God and the Son of God and the salvation.
Welcome again. Welcome to Holy TV. At this time, I'll take the opportunity to welcome our host. Our host is a man of God who wears many hats. But today, as for the interest of this show or program, I will like to introduce him as a servant of God, an inspirational speaker, and a motivational speaker, and powerful Steve. So at this time, I'll take the opportunity to welcome our host for today, Steve Kerr. Welcome.
Come give me a hug before you sit down.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Welcome once again to Holy TV. This is, as Dr. Sharon says, our 13th episode. It's been an amazing journey, and I thank each and every one of you for validating us being here, and we're looking forward to continue to produce awesome content for you. So thank you very much for tuning in. I have an amazing guest today, and I gotta tell you, I am really honored to have this guest, and the reason why is because he is actually my son. And so he has an amazing story, and so I really want to welcome to the stage right now Jared Kerr. He is my second-born son, and he has an amazing story for each and every one of you. Come on up here, son. Check. There you go.
And that's me.
So you get to sit in the center. You are the center of attention today. Oh, you want to sit on the red chair? All right. That's his favorite color. That's not a problem to me. All right. So, I know the answers to this question, but how old are you?
I am 21 years of age. I'm 27 years of age.
So it seems like the question was a little bit difficult than we thought, huh? It's like, I'll take sports for 200, Alex. You're 27. Okay. Why didn't you ask the second question there, Doctor?
Jared, where were you born?
I was born here in Canada, Brampton, Ontario.
Sorry about that.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
All right. Let's go with that question again. Where were you born?
I was born in Brampton, Ontario. My parents moved here the year before I was born, and I was born and raised there.
All right. So, what is your parents' heritage?
My parents are both Jamaican.
Okay.
That makes me Jamaican Canadian.
All right.
What is it like being the son of powerful Steve?
It's interesting.
Interesting.
Gee, I don't remember that question being a part of.
Interesting. That's all you have to give us today. Interesting.
Short but sweet, but it's powerful.
Powerful.
There's a lot that comes with it, but I wouldn't trade it for anything.
We thank God for that. Have you ever been to Jamaica?
I've been to Jamaica a few times. Most of the times, though, I haven't really got to experience it because it was for track when I used to run track. So I never really got to like be out there. But it was for meets, and like when I travel for meets, I'm there to compete and then go home. I don't really get to like partake.
Partake.
Like
partake.
Actually do stuff there. Like most of the time, you experience places from a hotel or from where you're staying.
Okay.
But I'd want to go back now and actually
just enjoy the land
Jamaica.
for what it is, right?
Yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
So in the realm of athletics, track and field was your beginning. And at what age did you begin the craft of track and field?
I started track when I was 10 years old. My sister and your daughter saw an ad in the paper of a girl in the starting blocks, and she was headed to
Khadijah Thompson.
She was headed to meet in the States, and my sister said she wanted to do that. And at that age, I was really like impressionable, and I just followed my sister and copied my sister. So I was like, I want to do it too if she wants to do it. And I stuck with it longer than my siblings, but yeah, for 15 years.
Awesome. Can we have the questions move along, please, so we can see number 6?
Jared, how old were you when you started track?
I was 10.
Wow.
So my sister was 11 and I was 10. She's a year older than me.
So did anyone else from the family start track as well?
Almost everyone. My 3 sisters and my other brother at the time. And so there was 5 of us running track for a shorter duration, but for our childhood, we all were kind of using that to bond, and our dad was a coach. So he gave us something to connect over.
So it is safe to say that you're from a family of athletes.
Yeah, I'd say we're all pretty athletic. Yeah. Jamaicans love running. So.
Well, they don't like swimming, so they better do something.
Something, right? And what events did you participate in? What sort of events did you participate in?
I ran track a fairly long time, so there was a lot of time to kind of experiment, and you find yourself. Everyone wants to be the fastest man, especially being Jamaican. Like, I wanted to be the fastest man, but speed wasn't necessarily my strong suit. Okay. I experimented, did long jump, did hurdles, did a bunch of different events, and kind of stumbled on long jump accidentally, and it turned out to be like my calling in that sport and something that I was naturally gifted with. Because there's one thing to work hard, but it's better when you work hard at something you're talented at as well, so it kind of combines.
Okay. And what high school did you go to in Brampton?
I went to Catholic high school, St. Edmund Campion.
Okay, shout out to St. Edmund Campion.
Go Bears.
All right.
Jared, I understand that you are an Olympian. How far did you, go into, that, with that route?
I'm technically not an Olympian.
No.
I was an aspiring Olympian.
Aspiring, okay.
In 2016, I was supposed to go to the Olympics, but
What
I
happened?
suffered my first injury and I needed a surgery for my knee.
Wow.
I tore my meniscus, and then 4 years later, I was training for the 2020 Olympics, and I was a Canadian champion at the time. And then the pandemic hit, and so both Olympics basically, like, I had to face a lot of adversity that I didn't have control over. I couldn't control being injured and having to sit out for 8 months, and I definitely couldn't control a global pandemic.
Absolutely
So
not.
it really just...
Yeah, before we get there, Jared, what would you say, or what can you tell our audience through the years that you're in track and field? What did you learn? What life skills can you share with the audience of what you learned?
Well, I got to travel a lot, so I feel like that taught me the scope of the world and culture and socializing, and I can be put any place in the world and find my way, because like it really taught me a lot about myself, and I'm independent and I can think on my feet. I can find my way around places, and I'm pretty good at, like, I'm a pretty good people person. I like to talk to people. I like to embrace other cultures, the food, all that stuff. I learned that there's just so much out there.
Right.
And I want to keep exploring that even through track and beyond. Like, I always loved that part of it.
So you did your 4 years of high school, and you got a scholarship. What was the school that discovered you and you got a scholarship for?
Originally, a school in Maryland
Okay.
discovered me, University of Maryland, Eastern Shore. But at the time, I was a 400-meter hurdler. And when I signed, I was going to that school. But during my last year of high school, I started long jumping because of a bet with my friends. And that kind of, like, I was a top tier athlete already with the 400 hurdles, but with long jump, it kind of elevated me to another level. And so when I went to University of Maryland, I originally went for 400 hurdles in a time when I was transitioning between the two events. So I kind of wasn't really happy there. I didn't feel like I was in my place, and I eventually transferred to the University of Houston in Texas.
Can we rewind for a second there? You said something. So you're a 400-meter hurdler, and that was your focus at the time. And then so you had some friends, and you had a bet. So what was the bet?
So basically, it was our last year of high school, and
Okay.
we all wanted to do an event that we all didn't do. And we were just like talking, game talk, and like saying, oh, I'm better at this, I'm better at that, I'd be better at that. So we settled on long jump, and basically our first meet of our last year, we were like, okay, we're all gonna do this event, because it's not serious, it's the first meet. We have a whole season ahead of us. So we're like, let's do this event. Whoever wins, we all put $20 in. And I went out there. I was the first competitor, and those that don't know what long jump or how long jump works, you just run down the runway, there's a board, you take off into the sand. So I was the first one, and with that, you need a certain measurement of distance, because your steps, you count the steps and stuff. I didn't have any of that. I literally just stood on a random spot, ran down the runway, and when I jumped, the officiants and the officials measuring looked at me and were like, who is this guy? Like, and they looked, they measured it.
Do you remember what the jump was?
It was 7'11", 7 meters, 11.
So the first time you
meters.
did long jump, you jumped over 7 meters. Obviously, you won the competition.
I broke the record.
You broke the record.
Amazing.
Did you hear this?
Amazing.
A
Amazing.
400-meter hurdler has a bet with his friends, does a long jump of over 7 meters, and gets a scholarship. That is just an amazing story.
Definitely a turning
So
point.
you really got to thank those friends for the bet.
Yeah.
And did you get your $20?
It was more than 20. Each put in 20.
Oh, each put in $20.
It was 60. Well, I got 80, but 20 of it was my own.
Okay, so you made $80 there and got a scholarship.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
Good day.
So you shifted to the University of Houston, right?
Yeah, I transferred to the University of Houston. I was recruited by none other than Carl Lewis.
Hold on.
Hold on a minute. So Carl Lewis was your coach?
At the time, between schools, when I wanted to transfer, the coach, which was crazy to me because he's a Jamaican man, I expected him to understand and like really understand the struggles and stuff like that. He wanted to keep me, but he knew I wasn't in a place where I could thrive with what I was doing because there was no long jump program.
Okay.
So I was literally training for 400 hurdles, doing hurdles, running, doing all this. And then at meets, I'm jumping, which doesn't make sense. It's like you're training for one thing, but when you actually work, you're doing something else.
Yes,
you're not training for the profession you're in. And so, like, he did a lot to try to keep me there, and I ended up kind of being stuck because when you're on scholarship, you kind of have certain obligations.
Right.
So I was kind of stuck there, and I had to go home because I couldn't get a scholarship anywhere else.
And
if
home,
I didn't,
when you say home, you
home
mean here in Canada. Okay.
I had to come back to Canada because if you don't get released, then the next full year you go to an American college for sports, you have to pay.
Wow.
And I can't, the American tuition is ridiculous. The scholarship is like $100,000 a year. And so I was kind of stuck at home. I decided I'm just going to try to go pro. And at the time, a lot was going on. I had jumped well and then just fell off the face of the earth because people are like, what happened?
Yes.
But the coach kicked me out the team, all that stuff. Everyone thought I did something, but it was because I wanted to leave. And I was stuck at home. As I said, I get a call now, like 6 months after being home. And he's like, hi, it's Carl Lewis. I heard your story.
Wow.
And I'm like, no, it's not Carl Lewis. Like, how would Carl Lewis have my number?
Someone is pranking you, right?
Crazy. Yeah, I was like, this is a joke.
Carl Lewis, who has 15 Olympic medals.
Yeah, and so he's like, he wants me at his program. I was like, good luck. I tried to get out of my release. I tried to get my release from my old school. He's like, I'll call you back tomorrow. We had a whole conversation and just like our visions aligned for what he wants in an athlete and what I want in a coach and a program. And the next day now he calls me and he basically tells me, you're coming to University of Houston. And I was like, no way.
Wow.
I literally went through 2 appeal processes, 3 lawyers, a bunch of stuff to try to get my release from my old program. And all it took was the great Carl Lewis one day to change that all for me. And that kind of was a saving grace. Because at the time I kind of lost passion and direction.
I understand.
Because everything I wanted was kind of stripped from me. But then he came around and kind of changed that. And I went to the University of Houston. I was a Cougar.
Okay. So you went to the Canadian Championships. This is 2015. You, on the winning jump, you tore your meniscus in your right knee, so disqualifying you from going to the Olympics because of the injury. And then Carl Lewis tells you that it's not a career-ending injury.
Yeah, this was all while I was injured. Because when I came home and I tried to go pro, my first meet, we went to Indiana and I jumped. I won the meet, but on the jump, when I took off, I felt a pop in my knee, and when I landed, I was fine. I got up, walked like 2 steps, and after the 3rd step, my knee just kind of
Give way.
buckled, and it felt weird and gave out. And then it just really I felt a sharp pain go up my leg, and I didn't know what was going on. And then it turned out I needed surgery for it. I tore my meniscus. Meniscus is usually it's the most common injury, but mine was severe. And it slit, and the slit of it kind of went back into the knee. And so that caused a huge gap. So my knee was locked. My knee was bent for 3 weeks before the surgery. I couldn't straighten it. And yeah, it was a pretty bad time. During that time, that's when I got the call from Carl.
From Carl Lewis.
Which is crazy.
So would you say that the injury somewhat ended your career?
Yeah, that didn't end my career. I actually continued jumping, and I went through my whole college career and did a lot better. And I ranked 4th all time in Canadian history in long jump. I jumped 8.14 my senior year in college at the American Conference Championships.
Oh, I think we have a clip of that. Can we play the clip of Jared jumping at the conference?
Kerr of Houston, not just winning the men's long jump, setting a new meet record, 8 meters 1-4 for the Houston Cougar. Jared Kerr, your 2018 American Athletic Conference men's long jump champion. Here's a look at that meet record from Kerr. Here's a great one right here. He knew it. Airborne. As soon as the white flag was raised, he knew it was special. 8 meters 14 at the meet record from Kerr.
Wow, wow. So you're in the history books. Now, how close were you to breaking the Canadian record?
I was 6 centimeters away. The Canadian record is 820.
820.
So it was close.
Centimeters. Wow. That's incredible. That's an amazing achievement.
If there's one thing that I can go back and change, it would have been to at least get that before I stopped.
Right.
But I got close. I'm happy.
You're happy.
Okay. So you, 2020 came obviously, and once again, you qualified for the Olympics, but everybody knows what happened, COVID-19, and so it thwarted that year. And so what was your step after that?
So basically, that really put a wrench in everything, especially given 2016 and like how hard I was working, and it just kind of seemed like no matter how like much I persevered, there was it just felt like I was swimming against the tide. I stopped feeling happy. In that time between that jump and now, I had 2 more ankle surgeries. I felt my body beating down, and I'm like, is this worth it in the long run? Like, I wanted this. I wanted to be an Olympian. I wanted to be a Canadian champion over and over again and break records and do all this stuff. But at what cost? If I'm not happy and if my body is literally falling apart.
Right.
So I kind of went through a time where I was struggling with my identity because for the longest time, since I was 10, I was Jared the long jumper or Jared the track star. Jared the track star. Like, track star is everything that my identity was. And when I kind of lost that, and I also graduated from school.
Oh, what was your degrees?
I got a degree in psychology and a minor in business administration.
Wow.
Okay.
Awesome.
And so I was a student athlete for 15 years. Then I graduated, I lost a student. Then COVID hit, I lost the athlete. And I'm like, who is Jared? Like, I was always used to Jared the track star, Jared the like studying psychologist and stuff like that.
Right.
And when I lost that, it really made me question my life direction and what I want to do. And at that time, I stumbled across some roller skates and fell in love with it. It was the weirdest thing for me because I never would have expected my life to be what it is now. But I started jam skating, that's what it's called, and it's when you dance on roller skates. And I like express myself through roller skating. And basically, I started doing that. I started creating content. I got sponsorships. I got like opportunities. I built a following and that kind of excelled things because I traveled to places, and wherever I traveled, I had some people that like a following there, so I could host parties, like skate parties, and do stuff, and just go with the flow. Literally just roll with it.
So literally, you're taking advantage of your minor, which is your business, and you've created a business on skates, on wheels.
Yeah, and I honestly think I'm still using the psychology because to me, like roller skating and self-expression is a really important thing, and I consider it my therapy. And so I use that with teaching people how to roller skate and how to express themselves, how to just like believe in themselves. I'm really inspirational, and I get a lot of that from my father. And
Kudos to Powerful Steve. So, Jared, would you say that, is it safe for me to say that you're a world influencer at this point
I
in
don't
time
like
in
to
your
use
life?
the term influencer because I feel
Influencer.
like it has a lot of negative connotations when you think of like being under the influence of something.
But it can be positive influence
Yeah, it can
too,
be,
right?
but I prefer an inspirer or an
Inspirer.
inspiration.
Okay.
Inspiration.
When you inspire someone, that's you never hear inspiration used in a negative context.
Okay.
It's
Right.
always
In
a positive
positive
thing.
That's true,
content.
that's true.
Okay. So it is safe to say that Jared, the inspirator, right?
Right.
Awesome.
So how
Awesome.
can our viewers, our listening audience, and our viewing audience get in touch with you? What's your social media link?
I go by Roller Rouge. It's one word, ROLLEROUGE. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, some on YouTube, and I'm starting to kind of post on Facebook for the older crowd.
Oh, so I'll follow you.
On Facebook for the older crowd.
So if the gentleman could put up the Roller Rouge, that's ROLLEROUGE for those who want to.
YouTube, right? Is that YouTube?
That's
is YouTube?
your Instagram, correct?
Instagram,
Instagram.
TikTok, YouTube.
Oh,
Okay.
the
They're all the
same name
same?
for all of them.
I keep it uniform.
Okay,
Okay.
that's great. So that's wonderful. So can you give us any words of inspiration? You've said a lot already, but what message would you like to leave with our audience for the experience and everything that you've gone through in your 27 years walking this earth?
I would say that I find comfort in knowing that no matter like what I'm going through, what's happening in the world, everything, I find peace in knowing that in the future, there is a time where you've gotten through that. And so that makes me believe no matter what, I can make it through and I can get through it. There was a time when I thought track was my life, and now it's not that it's nothing to me, but it's a past life. I look at it,
Right.
and I'm not devastated about that. And that change and transition is part of my journey. And you got to be more accepting of things. Don't get in your head about what this is supposed to be, where this is supposed to go. Find the happiness and the joy in the little things, the little moments, the interactions, the meeting new people, the experiencing new things, new opportunities. It's everywhere. If you find the joy in the little things, all the sadness and depression that's out there it has a little less sting. And that's how I've been able to find my lane and something that makes me happy.
That is wonderful. We want to thank each and every one of our listeners. We want to thank, put your hands together for my beautiful co-host here, Dr. Sharon Gludd. She did an amazing job. Put your hands together over there for Sam Ogbonda. Awesome. I want to let you guys know that you'll be having an opportunity to connect with again. We have a boat cruise that's coming up on the 5th of September on the Jubilee Queen with Captain Frank. So you can reach out to me, 416-708-5377 for your tickets. And I will be giving away a ticket today. And the person that's going to win the ticket, her name is Sarah Van. Sarah Van, you got yourself a free ticket to the boat cruise that will be on September 5th. And last but certainly not least, we want to thank Jared Kerr for opening up his life to us and sharing his wow. My wow is words of wisdom. That's my wow. Thank you very much to Jared. And you know what? We're looking forward to seeing what's in store for you down the future. And you never know, a year down the road, 5 years down the road, you might be back here and sharing where you are then. So thank you all for tuning in for Holy TV. That's Heal Our Land Yahweh. And as I always say, remember, aim high, spread wings, fly.